Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. So we're working on Mage's Castle here in the overworld. So yesterday we added these sconces to be a little, shifted so that it's kind of like in front of the castle here. And then we added just placeholder castle just to kind of like proof of concept to be like what this kind of looks like. Now we do need to add like the bottom, because the village is also going to be raised, so it's going to add like a little bit of depth, I think, if we have like the bottom of the village kind of peeking up. Then we got to redo a rickety bridge, because right now this is just log cabin floor, but it should look like a bridge. And then we have to build out Mage's Castle instead of just these placeholder stuff. So we have the warp zone inserted there. That's the green spot. So whenever we collide with that, we'll trigger the warp zone, which will be hidden once we put Mage's Castle on the right layer. Now, one thing I'm not liking is that like the bottom of the flames is like flush with the bottom of the castle here, and that will change a little bit once we round out the sides of Mage's Castle. But I think I want to shift, like looking at it now, I think I want to shift it down, shift the flames down 1 pixel, as well as the pedestal, just to give it a little more difference, because I don't like how it's like a straight line. It should have some more depth, I think. So, and then maybe even like some shading around the edge, because it looks, I don't know, it looks like, I don't know. We'll see. Let's pull it up here. This is our crappy mock-up we made. But yeah, in our master sheet here, we should have, and you know what? I think I want to close that. I just want to open it from scratch, because if I accidentally overwrite that PNG, then we might overwrite some sprites we moved. So okay, so here's the flame. So I think what I want to do, I just want to shift these all down by 1. And then it'll basically, it'll mean that we have to shift our pedestals down by 1. But that'll give us, and actually the pedestal's only ever 1 right here. So we should be able to just scoot this down and add 1 line of black here. And then that should help out that issue I wasn't really liking. So let's see. We saved the PNG, so now if we load our game, it should be in there. Yes, that looks so much better. Just like a little fix like that. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. I feel like if we add any shadow at any point, it'll mess with like how the game looks, right? And then we'll be kind of stuck to that. But I like this. We'll build out the pathway so it comes out for the rickety bridge out this way, because I just don't want people getting stuck on the lip of the goblet of fire here. But other than that, I think I'm liking it. So yeah, so let's work on first building out Mage's Castle sprites with a rounded edge, and then we'll build out the rickety bridge sprite. We'll replace it, and then we'll add the height for this first village here. So like we'll add, just like how Mage's Castle is like up out of the water on this pillar, we'll give the village a couple layers to be raised out of the water, because it's kind of like it's kind of raised. So I think that's cool. So let's work on that for our Mage Castle here. This is the stone interior for the floor. It's a decent kind of starting point, at least for like the outside of the brick. Is there any dev on bosses? Like setting difficulty? No. No, the closest thing we've got, is in our entity definitions, I think it is. Or if we look at our declarations when we give something like a bat, we have things like this where we can give the bat more health, we can give it a faster spawn time, we could give them a more erratic zigzag routine, and there's also, we could also change the, I want to say the spitballs that the bats spit out. Oh, attack speed right here. So we can scale a certain amount of these, and in the first dungeon there are a couple of super bats that fly faster and attack faster. But nothing like machine learning or anything like that. Nothing like that. It's like, you know, Lua's like pretty bare bones like scripting language, and I haven't messed around with anything like that. But yeah, let's see if we can figure out, you know, I want to if this is our starting point, you know, it's almost like I want to take this and build it out on the overlay. You know, we had this where is it? Right here. This crappy mock-up that we're building. We can kind of make a new layer and put it on here. So let's just do a new layer. Yeah, if we can get, yeah, so we can start painting on this layer as a template, right? So it's like we know the 16 by 16 tiles here, and then once we figure out how many different tiles we need, we can start placing them in the tile sheet. So, you know, I don't want this exact pattern for, because like this is the floor pattern of the stone, but actually, you know, it doesn't really bug me that it's similar, because it just looks like brick, right? Like the hard thing is we want it to look like it's curving around. We want it to be like a cylinder tower. So that's what's going to look a little strange, I think. But yeah, we can just try to chug along and see what this looks like if we carve out, you know, an entrance for this. We messed up. We want... Yeah, I pasted this in the wrong spot. All of those were wrong. Okay, let's try this again. We just need to, you know, make sure we line up the tiles so that everything's looping appropriate. Yeah, the curvedness is going to be tricky, but if we carve out a little entrance right here, yeah, something like that. Okay, so yeah, we want to curve this around so it looks like a cylinder. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's going to be tough to kind of curve the stone pattern here. I wonder if there's like a tool. I wonder if there's like a tool we can kind of distort via the corner. Is there transform, like a free transform? Is there like a free transform? Nope. Because it's almost like, yeah, it's almost like we can just kind of drag the corner of this upwards and kind of round out the bottom. It might help us. Is there a free transform? Skew feature in the beta? What? There's a script? Oh, really? There's no skew? Is there a skew? Maybe not. I feel like there's got to be a way to do that. No? Maybe not. I guess we could try it in Photoshop. Well, yeah. Like it could just look like total crap too. I don't even know. Okay, height of 16, width of 64 plus 16, 70, 80. I can't believe copy and paste worked from one app to another. Okay. So yeah, I know in Photoshop we can do this. Although, I don't even know how. We want a free transform. That's what it's called. What the fuck? Dude, okay, here. Free transform. Okay, it's on. Yeah, okay. Oh, shit. Okay. So if it were curved, then it would look something like, I don't know. What would it look like? Like that's like a top down. I'm trying to like Oh god. Oh god, it looks so bad. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna have to draw it ourselves, because this I thought this would be easy. It is not proven to be easy. Yeah, okay. Well, big fail. Okay, so I guess we'll start with the vertical lines and kind of paint from there. So it would kind of curve, they would kind of curve up to kind of give us that 3D kind of look. But we've got so few pixels to work with that it's like, it's gonna look weird. Okay, well, I really like the A sprite where you can do Alt R, no, Shift Control R. Yo, Soup, it went good. It went good. It's just like really exhausting. You know, it's like, for whatever reason, it's just like makes you feel like you've been hit by like a truck every morning after like, you know, 10 or 11 hour days on set. So it's exhausting, but it went good. I know I've done this. I thought it was Shift R, Control R. Yeah, it says Control R. I mean, I guess... Am I just doing it wrong? Shift R, god dang it. Okay, so yeah, we want to pull this darker, replace it with the lighter. Okay, now we can start. We want to pull, yeah, we want to pull this darker gray and try to do curved lines. Dude. Okay. I need to take a day and just practice this software so I don't stumble this hard every time. Okay. So I do like this kind of curvy tool that A-Sprite's got. It allows you to do little curves so we can set like an endpoint and then kind of curve it. So we can kind of set, you know, an endpoint of maybe 2 pixels higher and then kind of curve it out, you know. It's tough because we want it to loop, right? So if it's 16 tall, we want it every 5 or so pixels. So we might shift these up just a bit, because that would be 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and then 4. So let's make this a 5 pixel difference. And this a 5 pixel difference. Don't know if I'm liking that, but we can, you know, this is just to see what we like. So let's just keep experimenting. You know, because we'd have to have us, you know, it would be stacked, right? It would loop with the curve, so it looks curved throughout. So we also need a curve here at the very bottom. Something like that. Okay. Let's just like, we'll build it out and see if this is like at all close to what I'm wanting. So like we'll just kind of flop this over. Okay. You know, Soup, I want to. I really want to. I told myself, like, when I get a programmer job, I could splurge on a kinesis or something. So I do want to, but I haven't done it yet. Okay, I don't like... Yeah, this secondary darker part is just 1 pixel too high here. ZSA. Okay, because yeah, I didn't know what brand you had got yours. I'll look into it. Unfortunately, I think I owe a lot of taxes this year. Because my work like didn't withhold enough, apparently, and I just extended my deadline because I was just busy. So I don't know the full damage just yet. This is looking okay. Now I do think we want to do. Yeah, I didn't file yet. I just extended. I was gonna do it Tuesday. Tuesday, I have some time. I just have to make sure my tax guy is free. Well, it's like I paid all the estimated stuff. I just didn't file. So the thing, yeah, with my work that gives me, you know, paycheck or whatever, apparently their stuff wasn't, my W-2 wasn't configured great, I suppose. I don't know. Okay, so like the bottom, yeah, if we want this to loop, we might need the bottom of this corner to kind of bleed into the top. Oh god. So if we want that, that's not quite right. Yo, thanks for the tax help, Soup. Yo. Epic. I'll let my tax guy know. He'd be like, no, that's more. That's more taxes. Biddies are more taxes. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to just make sure the cutoff for the rounding there is at the same place on the loopable part. Oh god. Yeah, he takes those enlarged emotes. That's what he accepts. Okay. This is, you know, like, this is just to see if it's, like, making sense for me. So, like, these would be the curved parts. And then this would be... You know, right above it, we need, like, a straight edge, too. So if that's the curved part, then we need the straight edge, which I guess is right here already, you know? But, you know, we have to add the stone decoration to it, so... Yeah, because it would look something like this. So, like, if we imagine the same kind of stone pattern... Does that curve? It doesn't look super curved, huh? I feel like it should curve starting over here, like almost like a whole tile worth of curve. Because it doesn't look like I want it to look almost like a cylinder, like a spiral staircase upwards. So yeah, maybe the curve isn't quite right. Yeah. Let's try it again. Okay. So yeah, let's try to do like a whole tile of curve this time. Just about. So if it curves right there, yeah. Man, it's such a delicate balance. There, I want like 1 pixel. There we go. I think I want like 1 pixel on the very left part, so it looks like it curves into nothingness there. That's looking better. Let's try that. I don't know, looks too abrupt. Right there looks too abrupt. But also we can kind of finagle that with the coloring, like with the pattern. Yeah, it might look okay. I do think it's a little abrupt. Okay, this might work. Yeah, depending how we... man, it looks so weird there. Yeah, it shouldn't curve above. It should curve. Just scoot everything down by one. Okay. Gosh, and then we're back to what... yeah, we're back to the same thing we just did. It does look a little bit better than that first attempt. Okay, let's try the patterning with this and see how we like it, because I think I'm liking this. Okay. Shit, no, I think it should curve. Yeah, it should curve longer out. Let's try it again. That's not it. It's so freaking tough. Just looks like a diagonal line. Doesn't look rounded, you know? We might need to blend it a little more. I don't know though. God dang, dude. I can't believe how tough this is. I think the patterning is really going to help us on this. Because we can kind of, you know, I think it's going to really make or break it. Okay. Okay, I think we're gonna try this. Now we've got... Since there's... since it's tiles of 16 high, and we have 3 lines, trying to evenly space it, like there's one gap. Right, there's one pixel gap, and right now it's the one right here. But it'd be towards the top of the tile is that one gap. So there's like 4, 4, and 5 gap. I guess that's okay. So let's Okay, so yeah, we're gonna try to remake this patterning that we've got, which is like a brick kind of patterning. So like, kind of like this, just kind of stylistically omitting some of the edges to make it look like brick. And I think if we can get that kind of looking 3D, that might help. But I guess that would mean like the pieces are closer together on the edge here, and then they get spaced out as it gets flat. So I think I'll just start it here and see. You know, something like this where it looks, you know, looks a little thicker. It's just that we have to like... What I did was like kind of like delete every corner piece. So it kind of looked... Shoot. Okay, yeah, let's see where this is headed. You know, because if we look at how we did it here, it's like the verticals were kind of offset in the center of the other ones. So if we try to mimic that again here, see how these ones aren't offset at all. So it's like we would need to... We can offset the darker overlay like right here. Just to give it that variety. That's already looking a lot better. Yeah. Yes, okay. So where do we... That is looking better. Oh, nice, yeah. Okay. You know, I don't know if we need to take out... like, I think we need to, like, strategically take out a couple of these, but, like... Which ones? Honestly, this might actually work, though. I think it... It looks a little strange to cut it out from there. The squares are the squares kind of look fine. Okay, so let's try this. Let's see. Oh, we need to offset. Oh, shoot. Okay, so the problem is, like, these verticals, it's at the same, you know, there's one on the top, one on the bottom, then when we loop it, it doubles up here, so we need it alternating. So we can't quite, you know, this might need to be 2 tiles to get the offset right. But shoot. Okay. It's hard. My mind is getting clogged up with the tile, so it's like I think we just need to delete the pattern and then offset it. Okay. So that would be it looped. Yo, what up, 8 bits a byte? How's it going, man? It's going good over here. We're working on finishing our demo. But demo is still not done, so we've only got one feature to add, and then a couple new sprites to add, but then the demo is in a shareable state, I think. But yeah, it is, you know, pixel art is just like surprisingly tough. Gosh, it's so tough because it's like we need to make sure they loop with each other horizontally as well as vertically, but we want them offset. So it's like, this is the right height difference. But not the vertical offset. Okay. This is close. Yeah, it's almost ready. You know, we've got a whole level. We got the whole spellcast, the whole dungeon, a mini game with like a opening credits and like a win state for the demo, essentially. But there's a lot of like little pieces that still need to be slotted in there. I think I'm liking how this is like looking though. Like this is looking as good as I kind of hoped it to be. It's just the offset here. So I think what I'm gonna do, I keep screwing this up. So I think I want to maybe offset by thirds instead of like alternating. That way it can loop easier vertically. That's kind of my idea, but I don't know how that will go. Nice. Yeah, I know. It's a daily struggle, man. I get you. I never expect pixel art to take this long. Like I always think it'll be quick. Like, you know, just throw in Mage's Castle and then I'm here a whole hour later, like hardly even having a curved brick, you know? Okay, so the idea here is to kind of offset the start of these bricks by like a third, so that the next time when we loop this vertically, it loops again starting over here, and then it looks, you know, if they're in the same spot there. So like, let's see how that looks if we have this spacing out, you know, about like that. Shoot. Okay. This one needs to be a little... Okay. Something like that. Because now when we loop this vertically, they won't match up. They won't stack perfectly like they used to. Which is good because it doesn't look as you know, looping as it used to. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'll get that way too. It'll be like, it'll mostly be, yeah, I have to have like one problem I know I'm working on, and then if I'm like not quite stumped, but like, you know, like not stumped but not one shot figure it out, but in that zone of like I know what to try, then time, you know, it'll be like 2 hours. I'm like, what? I did one thing and it took 2 hours? Okay. I think I like this. That looks better. Now once we get the patterning, it should smooth out there. So now if this loops vertically, that looks pretty good. Cool. And then this one looks pretty good. Okay, so let's see if we loop this horizontally, if it still looks good. So this would go right here. Oh, it looks like... Oh, it's not bad. Why is this one so... This brick is like extra long. Yo, Kavictus, what's up, dude? Yo, good to see ya. Yeah, I don't know. It can. But it can also help the time fly too sometimes. So like, I don't know. I just realized, look, there's like a double stack right here. Shoot, man. Why is it so tough? I mean, it's... Okay, I got an idea. What we'll do this... Okay, I got an idea. So we'll go back to the starting point with just the horizontals. Okay, yeah, we should have done this from the get-go, because I think the move is we just get a 16 by 16 sample. So like we know that those are the heights of the bricks, but if we do this and we do a 16 by 16, but we loop it vertical and horizontal here in the tiling, then we can draw right here. Yeah, well, and at least with pixel art, it's a lot easier to kind of talk to chat when you're doing like pixel art. Okay, this is close, but it's like we just don't want the verticals to overlap too much. So I'm kind of like, if we do like exactly thirds, oh, see, then it lines up. Okay, so it's almost like we need it in quarters. You know, if this is right, this is 25%, this is half. And then we can do, see, the vertical here is what I'm trying to avoid. Shoot, man. Why is it so tough? That's kind of good. You know, it's just so hard to get it spaced right. Okay, I like this. I think this is the move. Ah, oh, crap. You know, it's the ones that are right here that looks bad. So they can't be only one pixel apart. They've got to be more than that. So let's try it again. I know. Well, and that's what's killing me in this game too, where it's like it's a 10 tiles wide, right? So like the center of the screen is in between tiles 4 and 5. Or 5 and 6, yeah. So it's like there's no middle. It's in between. The middle is in between two tiles. So it's like it just drives me a little crazy. See, we can't do this. We can't have them only 2 pixels apart here, because when we go for the patterning by like deleting this, like the intersection points, it just looks bad. Like that looks just so weird. It's almost there. Shoot, man, why is it so tough? And this one's screwing me because, yeah, to split a 16 tile into thirds, there's no easy pixelage to split that up when it loops vertically. Let's just try longer tiles. Let's try longer bricks. Well, it's like, yeah, we can't go long if we want them symmetrical, you know? So it's like... Okay, that might be the move. I think that hits all of our problems. Yeah. Okay, that's looking better. Oh, fuck. There's the one. There's the one. One looping one right there. That doesn't look good. But if we scoot this over one, then we break it here. Okay. Let's see if we leave it unmarked. It just looks a little strange. Shit. Okay, if we move this one over, we break it here. What the heck, man? Yeah, it's tough. Okay, let's try it where instead of it being stacked, because like what I'm trying to avoid is like the bottom and the top having the same, you know, I don't want it to stack perfectly like that. I want it to be offset. So if we want to just fix that, we have to make sure that this one is two spaces away. Two spaces away, and then this one cannot be... Oh, man, it's so jacked up, dude. Let's try less tiles overall. Let's try like only one line. Yeah, can we get away with one line in each? They're like long ass tiles then. Yeah. I mean, let's just try that because nothing else is working. So let's just try one brick in each tile. Okay. I think we have to go with something like this. Yeah. Let's see how it stacks with the rest of it. Okay. So we put that here. The fuck? Yeah, I think that's the magic touch there. We need, what, 4, 5, 6 pixels short of looping. Okay, so that should be the perfect slice we need to slip it right there. Okay, I think that might be it. It's tough because it's like, yeah, it needs to loop both vertically and horizontally, so that's just what makes it so tough to design for. Okay, there we go. I think that's looking good. You know, there is, you know, this is like a thicker brick and this is like the smaller one, but that's the... We can't space it evenly with 3 dissections, you know, unless we... No, we can't do it. There has to be some difference there. So let's... The bottom might be a different sprite because I want it flush on the bottom there. Okay. This is good. Let's use this same one. Actually, yeah, we screwed this up. This is the one we want. The above one to loop the rest. There we go. Okay. And this is just, you know, when we paint it, I'm just trying to see if it looks okay when we build this all out. But when we paint it, we'll have one tile that has that fully flush gray bottom for the ground, and then these ones for the side. So this we need 6 pixels from the edge. Yeah, we could just copy and flip it, which we might do. Okay. There we go. What did we mess up here? Oh, it's the crap. Oh man, we can't just flip it. Yeah, we can't just flip it. Okay. This is cool though. Mage's Castle is finally coming together. What the hell did we do wrong? Oh, it has a solid dark gray bound there. Okay, so we'll do this. We'll just give it that solid gray line. Oh, yeah, okay. We didn't even have this. Let's just copy this. This is crazy. This is taking me so long. We still got to do the rickety bridge after this. Okay. Perfect. Okay. But why does it... Dude, it doesn't loop. Why does the brick spacing look wrong over here? I can't even comprehend how they would have done this in assembly. You know, like without tools like I'm using, like how did they freaking figure this out? Okay, so yeah, the bridge, the brick overlays are a little off. So here we go. This should be the right version. Right there. Oh god, it looks so bad. How do we screw this up? Why does it look so tiny? What the... Why doesn't it loop to the other side? Oh god. Why it loops? It should loop the same way. What the heck? It looks so bad. This is enough to drive me crazy, man. Mirror the left side. This... Wait. Shit. I can't tell. That looks even. That looks even minus this guy. For whatever reason, this one doesn't look even. I tried that Cavictus. It looks so busted when I did that. But let's see. Well, oh, you know what? Yeah. So yeah, because at some point it needs to flip, right? If this is like the left side, but then since it's not symmetrical, if we were to flip this whole thing and just say, let's just literally just flip this, then the middle one doesn't loop right. So like if we try that and do this, and this is now the left side, it looks good until the top. See, like, why is that one a little nub of a brick? Because they aren't symmetrical. But that looks better for the sides, but it's just that now the tile right here looks all jacked up. So it's like, I mean, I guess we could just modify this one tile to shift the middle over. It would screw this one up. Oh god. I don't know. This looks better though. I do like it mirrored like that. It just throws off. It just throws off the top. Because like that little nub of a brick looks so... that looks so bad. Okay. Let's try to fix it. See, and it's tough because it's like this tile would need to loop vertically with itself, but also be spaced out evenly with its side flipped. Oh god. Okay, let's just try this. So we'll fix the nub right there. We'll add in another one. Gosh, dude. And then the vertical, you know, it's got a stack, which sucks. Yeah. Yeah. We'll just call the nub intentional. Where the hell? Let's try this. If this, all we need, this one just needs to loop vertically, and if that loops vertically, then I'm fine with it being its own sprite. Like, I don't really care. Okay, so I think what I want to do, yeah, I think what I want to do is just highlight this one, and we'll see if this loops vertically. We'll make sure this loops vertically, and then hopefully that just is the end of our problems. Okay, it does look decent vertical, so we might be okay. Oh shit. Not these two though. Fuck. Yeah, not these two. They can't be so close there because that it just looks so jacked up. So that's the only one that needs to move. So the top and the bottom need to be, so we can scoot, you know, we can scoot either this one left or this one right. Let's scoot. I think that one's fine. Let's scoot this one over to the left just a bit. It makes for like a funky long one over here though. Shit, man. Okay, so yeah, man, we got to get a nubbin somewhere. We either have like a super long one or a nubbin. Because yeah, the vertical stacking there is just too flush. I mean, let's see what the like, because maybe in the center, you know, maybe in the center we can have like a double brick, because that's like right in the center, and maybe that looks, I don't know, maybe that looks okay. Because it's like, if there's one that's gonna be off, why don't we just make it look unique, like kind of like intentionally, and kind of like, you know, like if it looked something like this, it looks fucking weird. Okay. Where's the vertical? Here. Let's try this again. Okay. Yeah, let's just scoot this one over 1 pixel and hopefully that'll fix everything. Fuck, yeah, it needs to be, it's gotta be extra long, man. Ay, ay, ay. Fuck. It is so strange. Yeah, it's like if we were to do something weird, you know, like this, like a total split, like a symmetrical split right here, then maybe we can get away with this. It just looks weird. Yeah, I don't like the double line there. But maybe just a single line split generally in the middle? I don't know. It just looks so strange. You know, I wish. I mean, we yeah. Cuz like the problem is, Kavictus, this shit is tall. Like this is like it covers like a whole screen and a half. So it's like if the banner would need to fix all the middle part of the castle. So like the castle goes all the way up here. So like the banner would have to come from the very, very top and drape all the way down, hiding all of the center there. And it's like, you know, this one doesn't look that bad. It just doesn't look as rounded as, I mean, obviously this is all like placeholder. This is just the floor of the castle that I put there for placeholder. So like I'm building out like the rounded edges because I want it to be like a spiral staircase. So like that's the whole issue, is like trying to make it look like a circular tower. But yeah, I yeah, like the equivalent of cleaning your room and just shoving everything in the closet, you know? It's like just shove all of this crap in the closet. Okay. So all we need to do, like it's okay, maybe since this is in the center, we might be able to get away with some shenanigans here, like if we were to have like a double nubbin right here. Question, the right side should look like that. It is off by 1 pixel. Yeah, it is off by 1. Shoot. Because, yeah, there is a 2. Yeah, there's only 1 pixel on the very edge here, which there is, but then, yeah, it is off by 1. There we go. Okay. Although I just deleted that. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think that looks right. Okay. So I think I'm okay with that being like a triple brick in the center. That kind of makes sense. Well, I guess, yeah. If you think about it 3D wise, it should curve out. Like, as it curves away from you, the distances shrink. So, flat in front, the brick should be longest. So maybe we just have a super brick here in the center. God dang. It's crazy. Yeah, we'll do a super brick here in the center, and then I mean, maybe, I don't know, I'd kind of have to see. I'm kind of thinking, what if we just leave it like a blank like that? I mean, I guess this super brick could get split, because that's like really thick. So maybe if there's one big super brick here, and then one split, and this is like a medium. I guess it depends how it loops, you know, because like this would have to be, yeah, something like this. Let's see if this vertically loops. It does. It looks strange without the surrounding bricks, because it looks like it's... This might work though, because I think just looking at this, that doesn't look bad. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. Okay, I do think, I think I want to do like a little bit of, you know, we need maybe another brick here. Okay. That's pretty good. The weirdest one is this long ass brick right here. But we can't. I guess if we split it, God, yeah, if we split it here. Yeah, because we can't do this, because then when it stacks, it's too centered and it just looks weird. Because like here, if we were to put it... Yeah, I don't like how it stacks vertically like that. I just don't like that. But... No, I like the flatter brick. I think this is okay. I think this looks good. Because yeah, the flatter brick can go in the front. I think I like this. So what kind of sucks though is that there's a lot of tiles for this. We're not using, you know, like, because this is a unique tile. The doorway, you know, let's count them. The doorway's a unique tile, so that's 1. There's this one, which is 2. There's the curved edge, which is 3, but then above it is a different one, so that's 4. And then the one above this one is a unique one too, because it doesn't have the flush bottom dark gray bit, so that's 5. Then the center is a new one, that's 6. They're all unique tiles. I guess it's not a big deal. It's just that we don't... Yeah, they're all unique tiles. So, yeah, it's a total of 10 unique tiles here. That's fine. That's fine. It doesn't have to be... What do you mean by how it looks flipped? I don't know what you mean. Like, they're just we don't have any flipped logic in our drawing. So like, we're drawing all our tiles from the sprite sheet, but we don't have any logic to kind of use the same tiles and flip them, because there's a whole, you know, if we flip it in Love2d, we have to offset them, and in the rendering it just like I couldn't figure it out. So we don't have that ability, but we can just use all of these as a block of sprites, because it's like, you know, we can loop these ones, right? Like all of this can be stretched out for the height, so it's like we can at least reuse that. until we get to the very top of the castle. Then we have to make a different sprite for the very top. But that's not too bad. Now, yeah, we don't have, like, these are all our tiles in the game right now, which it really isn't a lot, which is like one of the last things we have to do is just flesh out a couple more unique tiles. I think I'm just going to plop it down here. I'll leave a gap for the top of the castle. Yeah. Looped and not flipped, yeah. So what we can do here is we save our master sheet, PNG, and then we can load up our tiled, which I'm going to close so that we can reload it. Now, in the ground level layer, we're going to now overwrite that with this. So we've got, we need it, since it's transparent, we do need the ground level to be the grass minus the door. There's because in order to walk through the door, we have a couple of layers going on. We have a ground level and then an above ground or top level layer. So I have to find, and you know what, the dark mode of this doesn't show transparency in the tiles, which is why I normally have dark mode off. So that sucks. But yeah, so ground level, we'll get just grass here for the ground level. And then above ground, we put in our castle. You know what? Yeah, this is a mess, man. Because we need our animatable Goblet of Fire there to be in the top level, or the above ground level. So in the above ground level, I'll put the first frame of that animatable here. Yes. And then we need a corresponding top level tile to render above us in the, so it renders on top of our player here. So yes, okay, so we'll need to, what's cool though is we can, now that we've got this should loop vertically, so we should be able to, yeah, stamp this up. So that's nice. So that's looking a lot better. We don't have a roof yet, but that's okay. Let's work on the doorway here. It's looking better. That's looking better. And like, this is Mage's Castle, right? This is like the first time you come out of the tutorial and into the world. So I kind of want it to look, I want it to look decent. I mean, I don't want the whole game to look decent, obviously, but you know. So we need a top level tile for the doorway here, which looks like it is this. So this will render over the player. So I'm going to do just the top part of this to render on top of the player. And then if we save that, we can draw that in the top level tile layer, overriding this one. And it should look decent. So if we export this as a global map.lua, our game takes care of the rest. And we should be able to see our Mage's Castle for the first time. You know, we're seeing the warp zone, which is fine. These are non-collidable tiles, so we can walk through it, which is incorrect. But, man, yeah, okay. Okay, I know. Oh my god, dude. The freaking order. Okay, this isn't bad. This isn't bad. All we have to do is All we have to do is make this whole, these sides need to be collidable map objects, which we don't have a super easy way of defining, but we do just kind of place them in a very certain spot in our sprite sheet, and our game kind of takes care of it for us. So it's a little weird, but Mage's Castle is a one-off. You know, there isn't any other Mage Castle like this. So, oh, why? Dude. So how we do this is there's a row of tiles that we defined as collidable map objects. So any tile that is in that location on our master sheet here, we will not be able to collide with as a player. So we just need to move these layers to, this is the whole floor, anything on this level of tile where the red boxes, those are non-collidable, or I should say collidable, so that we can't walk through them. So if we save that, I'm just going to get rid of this before I try to draw with it again. I'm sure there's a better way. You know, it's kind of like, you know, we baked ourselves into some bad decisions early on. We could redo it. It would just mean we have to redo our whole global tile map, which I think is probably a decent idea after the demo is done. You know, like doing it right now doesn't make much sense. But if we close our tile, we reopen it, we can now draw the collidable level layer there. So in our ground level, our ground level has grass. Okay, so our very edges are an above ground. So this is an above ground, this is an above ground, but then this one is a ground level because it needs to be behind the Goblet of Fire. So that'll be a ground level and a ground level. Then in a top level tile, we need the top, the centerpiece, to also be in the top level tile so our head doesn't peek above it. And I wonder if that'll hide the warp zone too. We have the warp zone on just to like prove that it's there, not so much for the game. You know, it's not supposed to be visible, but it's visible for us just to make sure we place the warp zone correctly. So let's see. Okay, it hides the warp zone. Let's see, we don't collide with it. Cool, so the Goblets of Fire have the collidable. You know what? It's still, the goblets aren't shifted. We must have accidentally overwrote that because we didn't fix that. Unless we had two goblets, because we moved our goblets down. Yeah, we didn't. Shoot. We didn't save that. We have over here where we shift. Yeah, we shift all of these goblets down by one. And then we erase that bottom level. And we shift down the chalice the same way. And add a black outline to the very top of that thing. Cool. Okay, let's see it. Okay, so we should have Mage's Castle, looking castle-y. We've got the Goblet of Fire. We cannot walk through Mage's Castle, which is great. We cannot walk through the chalice, the Goblet of Fire, which is cool. And then we can walk under. Great. We walk. Yeah, it's got the rendering on top of us so that the doorway's rendering in front of us. That looks great. And then it actually teleports us, warp zones us into the castle. That looks great. And then we can see how tall it is by going up here. Yo, epic. Yo, that's looking cool. Yes. Yo, Mage's Castle coming together. This is finally looking, you know, I mean, all this stuff is jacked up still. Like all of this is all nasty still, but The castle's looking sick. The castle's looking good. I actually, dude, Cavictus, I want to put a banner now. I want to do like a little banner. I don't know what it would be though for like game lore. But yeah, we need like a classic kind of like brick roof for this, because that, I mean, that's clearly wrong, but that's looking good. And then, so like the idea is, Cavictus, at the end of the demo is you get through the dungeon, you get the tome of music, which we can't even apply just yet, but there'll be a tome of music. And then once you play your lute with that thing equipped, it'll bring you, you know, you play your little music mini game there, and when you do it here on this screen, it'll be some riddle about like how you need to play this song where, I don't know what the riddle is, but it's like where the mage lives, but it's like high up above where magic happens, whatever. That's the scene you have. And then once you play that song on this screen, then it triggers the cleansing of the water here, which is jacked up because we hard coded the values. But now that we've got the right tiles spacing for this, we can adjust that. So that's the kind of idea. We still have to get the roof of Mage's Castle here. And they don't need to be non-collidable because you can't walk to it anyway. It's covered by water, so we can kind of just use the bottom of this as a starting point and then shape it however we want. So, you know, maybe we chop that off. Maybe... You know, I want it to be like a... Like a... I don't know, I want it to be like notches, right? Something kind of like this, where it's like... But it's like, it has to be 3D, so there has to be like a back part of it too. But this is like... Oh, it looks weird. You know, something kind of like this. But yeah, this part, you know, it needs to extend. It needs to be kind of circular in the back here. And it might have to start curving sooner than this. That's not quite it, but I think for now, for like a placeholder, it might be okay. Yeah, I think we want to curve it out. Yeah, we want to curve it out more. So I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of shift all this down and kind of round out the top there. Yeah. So here we'll do this. Yeah, we can round this out a bit better. Cool. Yeah, something like this. Then we can do like notches in the back here too, just like the front. Shit. God dang it. Yeah, that's a good call, Cavictus. I like that. Yeah, shallower in the far edge there. Yeah. I was kind of thinking to do like a hidden doorway here. Not a hidden doorway, but like a staircase entrance that people can kind of see. that way it kind of like teases the player like, oh, you want to go to the top of Mage's Castle to see what's up there. But it's blocked by magic at the beginning of the game. So, you know, like, I kind of want to like tease that there's something up there, but I also don't know what I would put up there. So I don't think it'll make it into the demo. Put flames like at the door that you can go up there. Yeah, well, I was thinking to put like a treasure chest up at the top there to kind of like insinuate that you could get up there. But I don't know what I would put in the treasure chest. So, I don't know. I think, yeah, and then maybe, I don't know, does this need to be darker at the very top? Does darker or lighter look better for that? Maybe darker. It looks kind of like hollow this way. Yeah, I think not quite as dark, but darker. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, darker but less dark, yeah. I think that looks good. I mean, that's pretty close. Yeah, I don't think we won't do the hidden treasure chest up there right now, but I think we might make that an explorable area, but maybe it's just not super apparent that you can get up there yet, because it's like mage's stairway is blocked here at the beginning of the game. So it's mage walks back up there, but you want to go up there, but it blocks you with some magic he puts there. So I think there's enough of a tease to make you want to see where mage goes to when he goes upstairs. Non-Cavictus. Games are $90 now. Or $80, right? No, $90 for physical, right? Switch 2? I think it's $90, right? $80 for the digital one. $90 for the physical. Okay, so Mage's Castle. We'll come in here and we will give us the top of the castle, which we cannot see just yet. But also this is in the above ground layer. And we can plop it right there. And we can't see it right now, but if we export as a global map, it should show up. Yeah, dude, I actually really don't know what they're going to charge for GTA 6. I could see them saying it's $100 right off the bat. Yo! Mage's Castle, dude. I kind of want just like a huge ass flame at the top of this thing. Okay. The new 50 for normal, 70 for next level. Are you talking about is it like Dune? Like actually Dune or Doom? They do the no, Cavictus. that would be brutal. It's like a gas tank. You could every okay, I don't know about this. I haven't heard about this. Dune Awakening. I haven't heard of this. That would suck if you have to do, like, you can dump $60 into GTA 6 and that'll last you 60 minutes. Oh my god, that would suck. Yo, Mage's Castle's freaking huge. Okay, so yeah, Mage's Castle, you can't go up the stairs here. There is a magic wall that appears there. It's just only in the cinematic right now. I'll just have to make sure it's in the overworld too, but this is getting good. That would suck. I hope they don't. I hope the execs don't hear this and get ideas. That really sucks. I mean, I stopped paying for PlayStation Plus recently because I'm like, I just don't play online. So it's like, I don't know why I'm paying them every month, you know, or every year. I think I had bought it back when Elden Ring came out, and I played it with friends like 5 times. I don't think they would do... I mean, just because Red Dead 2 had a bunch of story, right? I mean, I know GTA Online kind of took over the life cycle of GTA 5, but I feel like they'd have to do somewhat substantial story. I feel like they would have to. But who knows? Who knows? Okay. I think I just want to build out the height of, you know, we have this kind of like this edge piece to kind of like this needs to be in the ground level. You know, like I want to show, oh god, I want to show that this is like, because like the level up here is on a raised platform, right? So it's like the castle kind of goes in front of this. Rickety Bridge is going to be colored a more of a yellow than a brown, but I just want it to show that like this level is raised too, just like how this one's raised. Like we're above the water, like in like towers, kind of above the water. So we will need to make Rickety Bridge, which I say we should just go for and try to do now. So let's try to do it. Yeah, so Rickety Bridge doesn't... we don't really have like a wood or a light wood color yet. I want it to be more yellowish. Something like this. You know, I want it to look like, you know, like Temple of Doom kind of bridge with like rope on the side, you know, and then like half the bridge kind of falling apart. I definitely underestimated how tough pixel art was. Because on one hand, it's like there's so few pixels to work with. It's only, you know, 16 pixels. But every pixel really matters. Yeah, I don't know. This isn't good colors. Like, I want it to be pretty apparent that there's this rope and wood, and it doesn't look like that right now. So, rope might be more brownish. I don't know, it doesn't really, it looks more like a ladder than like a rickety bridge. I'm curious how it looks though. Let's see. It'll look better than what we've currently got. It does look better. It does look more like a bridge. Okay, it does look better. Yeah, it's not, I mean, there's only so much you can do, right? Because it's like I kind of we'd have to, you know, like I want it kind of swaying in the wind a bit. I think it'd be cool if it kind of like sways, but that's, you know, I mean, we have the ability to do that, to add the animatable underneath us. We could do it, but you know, animating this kind of thing is really weird, and it's like, it's going to be swaying. It's tough because it's not like, you know, if we loop, we'd have to animate like a 4 chunk of it or something, because if we just animate the 16 by 16, it'll loop every tile, and it just will look bad. So it's like we'd have to animate a bigger chunk of it, which we definitely could do. I just think it would add, I think it would add, you know, I want it to feel a little dangerous, you know, like, not that you can actually die there. I just want it to feel like people wouldn't dare to go over to Mage's castle, because it's like, you know, it's like walking on a crazy bridge, like a Temple of Doom bridge. Yeah, like a very slow sway in the wind. Like very slow, very slight, you know? But I think that could add a lot, like a lot of subtlety there. Yeah, I'm not happy with these edge pieces up here. They look so ugly. These, like, I wanted to make them look like a hedge, you know, like a hedge. I wanted these to be like logs instead of like mud. It looks like kind of melting mud. I wanted them to look like logs, but I just couldn't get it to read. So I'm not so sold on this. But yeah, it's like we need... Yeah, I need a better edge piece for this, because that just looks so weird. So next in development, I think is mainly, I don't know if we'll do this, the swinging of the bridge for the demo or not. I might try and just see, maybe we can pull it off. I don't know. God, this looks so bad though. Yeah, I kind of want to rehaul the hedges here because it's just like, just as ugly. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy with this. The hedges just look so weird. But we've got a rickety bridge. We've got a mage's castle finally. So it is looking a lot better. Wow, yeah. I think I want the bridge to come down flush over here. The bridge does look better, but yeah, just a slight sway would like add a lot, I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then we just we need to plan out the overworld here, because it's like, this is all just like placeholder stuff, right? We just needed a place for the inn so we could develop it. We needed a place for the dungeon so we could develop it, but we didn't really design it like a level or anything. So see, and like the hedges look fine here. I'm not mad about the hedges here. It's just like at Mage's Castle, it just looks so ugly for some reason. Yeah, I do think it, yeah, it is, yeah, like right there, the black outline should be 2 pixels wide here on the corner here. I mean, that piece is just gross. I need to fix that. And this needs a better edge. It's just that like I wanted, you know, I wanted a couple of spaces to walk here so that they weren't getting caught on a corner or caught on the castle. So we'll have to figure that out, but that's, you know, that's not too bad. We just have to kind of tweak. You know, I say that and then it'll take 2 hours to tweak it and then still, you know. Yeah. You know, we could put a little signpost in here too. I don't know if that's too much. Yeah, I don't want a signpost there. It's just too crowded, you know. We've got very few pixels to work with over here, so. Okay, I think we'll call it here. You know, we're at a decent spot. I don't like this edge. This shit is so ugly. Yeah, it's so ugly, man. It's so ugly. Yeah, that looks weird. We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I think it just needs a little rehaul of those hedge pieces, you know. Maybe we make some custom bits for the top of Mage's Castle, because the hedges don't look so good to me up here. And then yeah, 8 bits, you're right about, like, if you look at the difference right there, like where it's supposed to blend in. Yeah, like this, the thickness on the black right there is what's making it not look so flush, like this difference. And then yeah, right there, like the black pixels there are just not quite blending in just right. It looks weird. You know, we'll fix it. It's just not today. But we will save as no. We'll save and then we'll export as global map. Okay. So we at least got a decent. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying too. Like the kind of layering that we've got, like right here, where it's kind of like in front and then behind. It's kind of like a, yeah, it's like there's a weird muddiness that's happening right here where it's not. It just looks weird. Yeah, yeah. But you know, oh man, it's looking cool. It is looking cool. I am worried about if we do animate the rickety bridge, it might get screwed up depending on what frame of animation we like scene change on. It might be all weird, but it's starting to look pretty cool. Oh, Mage's Castle's crazy, man. It's just a freaking hut. Okay. Sweet. Well, I think we will call it there. We will check out our get diff here. Oh, really? Okay. So we drew some new tiles. That's all we did. We just drew some new tiles. No code today, just pixel art, which I guess makes sense. But that's okay. We add Mage Castle sprites and rickety bridge. Okay, so tomorrow will be. We need to kind of add a boundary for the different biomes, because the demo won't allow you to explore the whole game, right? So like if we look at our little mini map, there's like a forest directly outside of the intro area, and then there's a desert over here, an ice mountain over here. So I think what we need to do is kind of like we'll allow the player, basically the end of the demo is going to allow you to, it'll cleanse the water from purple to blue, and what will happen is I want there to be like, and maybe not in the demo, because if by the time we cleanse the water, it unlocks the forest biome, there's no forest for the player to explore just yet. So it's like the demo can't end by unlocking the new area and letting it be explorable, because we don't have it yet. So, but in the game, in the full game, the corrupted water is going to cleanse, and it's going to melt away on a certain like bridge. Like the bridge is overflowed with the corrupted water, but once it cleanses, if you go back to the area where it used to be corrupted water, it's now going to be a bridge. So it's gonna look like, like the water changes once you play the first lute song. But what we need to do tomorrow is make it so that if the player, we need at least like 12 scenes for the player to explore outside of the dungeon, because otherwise there's just really zero gameplay in the demo. So right now there's only, you can get to the dungeon with exploring 3 screens, which ideally we hide that a little better, a little further away. So it's like maybe you have to go, from Mage's Castle, you got to go up the rickety bridge, you got to go up to the village, you got to go right through Gecko Road. We're gonna add geckos there, and then maybe you got to come over here, navigate down and around and up, and then the dungeon entrance is right here. And then when you get out of the dungeon, maybe it pops you out over here on the right side, and this is where you get the first tome of music. But once you explore anywhere else, anywhere over here, we need to trigger, and this is what we need to do tomorrow, is trigger our particle system to blow sand, which we have programmed already. We just don't have a way to program it specifically on certain scenes. So we need a way to kind of trigger the global particle system to actually update and render if we're in a certain scene with particle systems, so that when they're out over here, if they try to go explore the desert more in the bottom left or bottom right over here, they'll just get blocked because there's just too much sand. So like we can have collidable edges so they can't explore the desert, and build the level so that there's some hard edges there so that they can't quite get there, because that place isn't unlockable till you play the next tome of music to settle down the ecosystem. Just like how playing the first tome cleanses the water, that unlocks the forest. Playing the forest music will calm the desert, that unlocks the next tome, that unlocks the ice mountain, that unlocks the lava, the Mount Kazan we've got. So okay, we pushed. Did we push? Yes, we pushed. So let's run credits here and we'll call it a night. Yeah. We'll run credits. Thanks for watching, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll get some more good stuff done. Thanks for watching. We'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully with some actual programming instead of just pixel art. So I don't think Prosto allows raids. Does Prosto allow raids? Prosto doesn't allow raids, so we can't raid him. But yo, thanks for hanging, 8-bits. It's nice seeing you. I hope your project's been going well. If you want, you can share your project over in the Discord so that we can check it out and give you some feedback if you want. No pressure though, but we're gonna raid out to Brightside because he's always freaking streaming, making his game. So we'll raid out, and thanks for watching. Have a good night.